Good morning, everyone. At least it's morning for me. Welcome to Social Anxiety Butterfly. I'm Eve, and in case you haven't seen any of my other videos, basically my channel is about, I guess, telling my story of having social anxiety, general anxiety, panic disorder, depression, so that others may be able to relate to it, or just know that they're not the only ones that think or feel certain ways. and kind of some of it's nice to just put everything that I'm feeling and thinking into like words, because honestly, people, if you're anything like me, you don't really express yourself to other people. Like right now, it's just me in this room. I'm home alone right now. Um, I'm just talking to my phone. Now, if there were people in this room, you wouldn't hear a peep out of me. It's, yeah, whatever. It is, whatever. Okay, there's one thing I want to touch on before I get started fully, and that is in my last video, um, I made a comment, something like, it's like exhausting to fake interest in when I'm talking about being in a conversation with somebody else. And I don't mean that I think that what they're saying is not interesting. What I mean by that is that I have to fake interest because it's so hard for me to like, it's so hard to explain. It's like, it's very hard for me to, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like to keep my attention fully on them, to keep like my eye, like make eye contact with them, to be engaged in a conversation. It's exhausting. Okay, so like some of the things like um just are not nothing, it's not autopilot. Okay, it's not like, I can relax. Oh, this is such a cool conversation. Oh, I'm listening intently. It's just like, no, because there's so many other things going on in my head. Okay, and I'm sorry if that, like, what I just, like, explained doesn't really explain it, but I think if you suffer from this, you'll know what I mean. And basically, I just explained that for people that who watch this and don't have social anxiety, to be like, oh, she's a bitch. She never, she has to fake interest. What is she? Like whatever. So anyway, it's just like whatever. So anyways, that's the thing. Like yesterday, okay, after anytime, like after I make like each of my videos, okay, I'm an overthinker, whatever, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have like said this, I should have said like explained this way, and like I'll like think about that over and over and over, like what I should have done. Like I'm always doing that, and I don't know if you also do that, but it's like I very rarely walk away from one of my interactions or something that I said, something that I wrote, and then I walk away from that, and like I'll be driving home or whatever, and all the way home I'm thinking like, oh, I should have said this way, I should have said that way, and did they think that I meant this, the other person that I was talking to, when I meant that. I don't want, like I don't want to be perceived in, like a crappy way. It's like, and like I said, is that part of social anxiety? I probably, I would imagine. I mean, I know people do that. I don't, I don't know. I don't think it's just like, oh, my personality or whatever you want to call it. I think that that just comes with having anxiety, I guess. It's oh my gosh, like, okay, here's another thing that I'm hoping that at least one other person in this world can relate to, because if not, I'll feel like stupid. But okay, like, if I'm going somewhere, I don't care if it's like to like the pharmacy to pick up medication or like to the drive-through, whatever. Okay, tell me if somebody out there has the same experience, okay? I rehearse what I'm going to say in my head over and over and over so that when I finally get up to the, you know, cashier or whatever to the window, or when I order my meal, then I don't mess it up. And I will literally in my head be going, okay, I'll have a number one, no pickles, with a Diet Coke. And I will, like, in my head, I'll say that, okay? And I will just, like, keep saying that over and over until I get to when I have to speak. It's so stupid. I mean, yeah, it sounds so stupid, but I think I know the reasoning behind that is just like, I can never be spontaneous in my words, hardly ever. In certain situations, that is, I just, I mean, like when I go up to I'm just like so socially awkward and I don't know, like, okay, for example, like when I do like go to the pharmacy to pick up some prescriptions or whatever, and I will be like, okay, like, oh yeah, I'm Eve, I'm here to pick up and I'll just, like be practicing that in my head, because there have been times when I have just gone up, they'd be like, okay, who's next? And I go up there and I'm like, yeah, I'm here to pick up like medications that my doctor should have called in, like whatever. It's just like, whoa, calm down. It's just like, and then this one time I was in line for the pharmacy, and I heard the lady in front of me saying, I'll just be like, oh, Mary Smith here for a pickup. And I thought, wow, short and to the point. And, now why I never thought to say that, I have no idea. Because it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if like social anxiety, like you're not like born knowing like how to interact with people. And if you hardly interact with people, it can get weird. It can get pretty weird. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is being in a store, in a supermarket, wherever. Okay, I don't care if I'm going in there for a pencil, okay? I will always have a cart with me. I don't care what I'm there to get. If I'm in a store, you will see me with a cart. Because sometimes I get so anxious, people, that it's like my legs don't want to work correctly. It's like they're half jelly, half like cement. And I don't know why my anxiety manifests itself that way, but it's annoying. So it's like I either have a cart for support and, hold on for dear life and whatever, just make it through the store, or I feel like I'm gonna flop on my face. Like, it's just like I'm just gonna like keel over because my legs are like, I don't know. So I don't know. If anything that I'm saying today is something that you have experienced, or know somebody that has experienced, then let me know in the comment section so I know that I'm, not a total freak. And like, I don't know. I'm sorry, people. I'm just looking at like my list of the things I want to say, because yeah, like I'm gonna be able to do this without any sort of list. That's funny. Let me see. Oh, are we? Okay, you know what? I guess this is where I'm gonna wrap this video up. I guess. I guess another question for you guys that I want to see. Hopefully, your answers in the comment section. Is what are some ways that you cope with being in like a store or just around a lot of people? Like sometimes my hair is like, ooh, more interesting than it normally is. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm so focused. I will do anything to like, oh, my sleeve. Yes, that's very interesting. It's like, it's basically like, I don't know. I'll do anything to like not be like, I am in a social, situation. It's like, oh my gosh, whatever. I was thinking about the other day. A couple things. Number one, okay, my doctor lady that prescribes me my anxiety medications and all that, I was just, I was telling her, I'm like, I just feel like I'm at like a plateau. The medicine, the medication's not really working too great for me, and I just, it needs to be a lot better. And she was like, well, we've changed your medications a bunch of times, so I think it's time for you to go to therapy. Yeah, just what every person with social anxiety disorder wants to hear, right? In order to solve your problem, go speak with somebody in person or whatever. Thank you. That'd be like, hey, in order to stop smoking, come here and smoke these cigarettes. I mean, it's like, whatever. I get that. I mean, I can't like, communicate with the therapist with my mind and just sit there and she can hear my thoughts. I get that. But it's at the same time, what am I supposed to do? Put a pause on like my mental illness and be like, okay, well, I'll have social anxiety later. Okay, so let's get to talking. I mean, come on. And then another thing I was thinking about, and you guys, I have to have a sense of humor about all of this stuff, because if not, it's just like depressing. But I was thinking about like, oh, like what if I'm on YouTube for like years and years, and like suddenly have all these people that watch my video, and I want like do a meet and greet, like how some YouTubers will do a meet and greet with their like subscriber people. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? It would just like, because my audience I'm trying to reach are people with social anxiety and, anxiety in general and panic disorders. Could you imagine us in a meet and greet? I'd be sitting at a table in like some big old like, hotel conference room, and everybody would be like trying to avoid eye contact. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? Too funny. It's too funny. It's like sometimes, I don't know, and maybe, I don't know, this just seems like another, I'm always thinking of like weird scenarios in my head, or worrying about like weird, stupid things. Like, I've thought to myself a lot of times, like, man, I hope I never get accused of a crime, because if they want to do a lie detector test, I'm going to pass or fail for sure. It's like, I mean, because like, oh, I'm always nervous and my heart, racing, and I'm talking, like, so I'm whatever. It's just like, oh my gosh. So stupid. But at the same time, it's funny. Or like if I'm sitting in a movie theater and there's like a balcony or something like, above me, or like a ceiling fan, I'll be like, I hope that ceiling fan stays right where it is and doesn't fall on my head and kill me. Like, what? Is that Is that just, again, my anxiety rearing its ugly head? I sure hope so. And I know that, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't even imagine. I've never been on a plane before. Terrified of them, actually, but what am I not terrified of? Um, but I always think like, okay, the airport like security worker people, they'd be like, oh, check this lady out. She's acting pretty shifty. She looks pretty nervous. She won't mean it. She's not looking in my eyes. She's like looking around. She's very suspicious. It's like, I don't know. Isn't that weird? Like, I don't know. Okay. I really am gonna end my video today, right, for now, and yeah, just let me know different things that you do to cope being out and about with people around. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.